What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster, and we've got an update on the incoming streaming flop, The Acolyte, to talk about. It's not enough that the series creator and director, Leslye Headland, has turned herself into a toxic figure among the Star Wars fanbase. The lead actress, Amanda Stenberg, is quickly joining the ranks of someone who doesn't know when to shut the hell up. Apparently, the people at Lucasfilm are still suffering under the delusion that we as a fan base find quips about story subversion attractive. That kind of talk became repellent once Rian Johnson subverted our expectations with The Last Jedi, especially after he and the mainstream media wouldn't shut the hell up about it for the next year or so, as if that terminology magically explained away droves of fans being dissatisfied with their story. But apparently, Amanda Stenberg didn't get the memo. Hell, not even Kathleen Kennedy got the memo, or she would have stopped Amanda from talking like this. That leaves us only one question.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video, it really helps me out if you do, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My handle there is Dr. Disaster1. But let's read what this nincompoop actress from The Acolyte has to say about this approaching shit show. We're going to read this article from Bounding Into Comics, which says, according to series lead Amanda Stenberg, the plot of Disney Plus's next Star Wars series, The Acolyte, will not only attempt to honor the ethos of the franchise and its concept of the Force, but also simultaneously challenge them. Does that sound suspiciously like subverting expectations to anyone else? Yup. It sounds exactly like subverting expectations to me, which is why I brought it up at the beginning of the video. It's as if these people can think in no other terms. They are so stuck in their one mode of thinking that it never occurs to them to realize that they are the ones in power. They are the ones who control Disney and so many of the other entertainment industries and big tech and all those other woke edifices, I don't know, whatever the pluralization of edifice is, but these people are stuck in this perpetual fantasy where they are the victims of whatever bad thing they've imagined, and they have to constantly challenge ideas in order to fight back. This level of widespread delusion is actually kind of impressive when you think about it. The amount of control that the mainstream media has enacted on such a large chunk of the populace is astounding. They have managed to convince millions of people that they are the main character in this story of life.
Why, you conceited ape.
Sorry about the tangent, let's read on. Stenberg, who identifies as non-binary...
What the hell is even that?
Sorry for another quick tangent here, but you know, I think I figured out what this non-binary stuff actually means. It's what you call yourself when you aren't actually gay or lesbian or whatever, but you want a virtue signal to the wokesters out there that you're down with their movement. But anyhow, Stenberg says she's non-binary, uses she, they pronouns, and is perhaps best known for having portrayed Rue in the first Hunger Games film and Spider-Bite in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, provided this tease of Star Wars' next television outing during a February interview given to C Magazine. despite her noting that a non-disclosure agreement between her and the House of Mouse had left her unable to offer too many public details regarding the series' production. Stenberg was still able to provide her host with a very brief and vague overview of its overall creative direction, beginning with the Acolyte setting within the franchise's High Republic era, a time period as conceived wholly by Disney, set roughly 500 years before the events of A New Hope, and centering on the exploits of the then flourishing Jedi Order. The actress explained, "In the context of the Star Wars universe, it is a time of great peace, theoretically. It's also a time of an institution, and it's a time in which conceptions around the Force are very strict," added Stenberg. And I think what we're trying to explore within our show is when an institution has a singular conception of how power can be used. We try to provide a lot of different perspectives and answers to that question. The idea is to kind of honor the ethos of Star Wars and ideas around the Force, and also challenge them, hopefully harmoniously. Let's dispel any and all hopes here. This won't be harmonious. Nothing that the bozos at modern Lucasfilm have ever done with Star Wars has been harmonious, besides maybe The Mandalorian, and they killed that after only 2 seasons. The Acolyte will be queer-centric and unabashedly woke. For goodness sake, look at how she talks there. It's a time of an institution, she says. You can imagine the scathing hatred dripping off her tongue as she mentions that word, institution, which she's obviously talking about the Republic and the Jedi Order. Institutions are basically the plague to these woke-infested minds. They are imperfect, so they must be destroyed. They are always striving for some undefined perfect ideal, which is always shifting. I don't know about the ethos of Star Wars, but the ethos of wokeness will be on full display in the show. You can count on that. As the article says, notably, Stenberg's interview is not the first time that mention has been made of the Acolyte's intent to explore such a gray interpretation of the franchise's central force, pun 100% intended. In March 2023, series creator Leslye Headland told Empire magazine, "When you're doing something completely original, like we are," let me interrupt this quote here real quick. Oh, sweet little Leslye, you're not doing anything original here. This is a Star Wars show. There have been about 1 million of those by now. And if you're referring to the fact that you're going backwards in Star Wars history to tell a story, let me refer you to someone who already did that, and who did that much, much better. The Knights of the Old Republic. And if you're referring to doing a story focused on a dark side character, I will once again refer you to KOTOR, or even The Force Unleashed, to say nothing of the dozens of novels like Darth Plagueis that have beaten you to that concept. But sorry about that, let's get back to the quote. We'll start over. She said to Empire magazine, "When you're doing something completely original, like we are, you want to question the status quo of the era that you live in. What I think is so interesting right now is that everybody thinks they're right. The Jedi really think they're right, and George Lucas tells us that they're wrong in Phantom. They missed a huge aspect of the dark side rising. That just felt like fertile ground to look into what's going on for all of us right now." Perfect. She's confirmed that this is made for a modern audience. How lovely. It's not like that has ever blown up in their faces before.
Sarcasm? You think?
Further, in a teaser trailer for the series unveiled at the April 2023 Star Wars Celebration event, an unidentified female character can be heard narrating, "This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it." Once again, this story will be all about the ethos of wokeness. not the ethos of Star Wars. This is about what Disney has imposed on our beloved galaxy far, far away. That last line they mentioned there, that this is about power and who is allowed to use it, that is the basic tenet of wokeness. It is a club meant to bash people over the head until woke people get their way, until they come into power. So many of these wokesters have assumed important roles in corporations by playing the identity politics game. And now that they have power, at least in places like Disney, they keep bashing and bashing because it's the only thing they know how to do. But the game has become stale and obvious. They're striking downward at those of us who are just trying to live normal, honest lives. And it is so blatant that people are waking up and even normies are tuning this sort of messaging out. Star Wars is a woke mess. We may quibble over whether or not it's dying or already dead, but most of us can agree that they are hurting. Comments like this from Amanda Stenberg sure as hell ain't gonna help. The Acolyte is going to fail miserably. I'll leave it there though. Tell me what you think about this non-binary humanoid's comments, and we'll chat about it in the comment section.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.